What do you think? Are all systems evil? No. Because if a system is created by good people, it's a good system. Look at what we've got here. It's primitive. This is a very rudimentary system. It's a camp for tens to hundreds of thousands of people, but it's still a system. We're all here for each other and advancing together as an army toward the good. Now, what is the good in a system? Well, it's clear once you start thinking about it if you look at what's happening here. What's happening here is people are looking after each other, and they're loving each other, and they're supporting each other, and they're like, hey, let's do this together. Let's cooperate together and create this bathhouse, this cantina, this internet or library hall. And they respect each other, because when you're in a reality that values the individual and the goodness intrinsic to each being, you can't disrespect them. You're not going to disrespect people here. Is anybody walking around here with a superiority complex after passing the threshold? No. Annihilated me. Yes, it did. It annihilated all of us. It woke us right up. If any of us were not completely awake at that point, right then, we knew. We knew that the psychopaths had been in control. We knew that everything up to that point had been part of the plan to ensnare our minds, and hence our hearts and our entire souls. We are on a prison planet, people. Make no mistake about that. We are on a prison planet. And what happens is on a prison planet, people don't have the capital answers as to why they are alive. They don't know. You don't know. Because you've been subjugated as slaves your whole life. And therefore, your mind is not your own, and your heart is not your own, your soul is not your own. It's under the spell and the influence of narratives that control you for the sake of the power structure that controls you. And this power structure is evil. There's no other word for it. Before the threshold, of course, we had different words for it because we were so enamored by our education that we could be intellectually dissociated from reality. But after the threshold, after the nuclear bombs went off in 10 cities, killed millions of people, there's no other word for it, people. You can't say ignorance. Oh, these psychopaths are just ignorant. No, psychopaths are not just ignorant. They're evil. They are evil. They would only kill millions because they do not care. They are predators. They are parasites. They fear that they are superior and they can do what they want without consequence. But what they just did is they woke up the entire human race. Now nobody is asleep. And so the question is, are we awake enough to know what's at stake? Do we want this planet or not? Do we want to be free or not? Or have we just foreclosed upon freedom because we don't know why we are alive? So am I alive to be free? But what do I do with my freedom? That's up to you. Life is freedom. Life is meaning. Life is truth. These are all just different words for the same thing at some point. Until you get to that point, it's all chaotic and diffracted and fractalized. And you're just confused. But once you find home, once you find your capital answer, then you start to create. What can I create in this camp? Yes. What can you create in this camp? Don't ask the question as if it's already answered. Ask the question and then fucking answer it. No, I mean, I'm not being hostile with you. I'm just passionate. Do you see what she's saying? Do you understand that? That the answer isn't some static thing. You get the answer and you're done and you stop living. No, you get the answer and now you're finally living. Right? Our world here, as traumatized as it currently is a world to be created anew, from scratch. And you've got to be responsible now for the narratives that you tell yourselves and tell your friends, tell strangers, tell your children. These can't be narratives that are hijacked, because that's how this deception works. That's how the evil spreads, through hijacked narratives. So I'm going to conclude by saying that when you find home with your capital A answer, you are going to be free, and you are going to be at ease wherever you go and whatever you do. However, it doesn't change the fact that you're on a prison planet of psychopaths.